Doctor, what are you doing here?
Something's wrong.
This episode is about Cybermen, buried spaceships, and babies.
And then there's that silver rat thing.
What?
I thought it was a little silver rat.
It's not a rat. It's a cybermat.
The Cybermats are... they're kind of like the Cybermen's pets.
Cybermats are infiltrators, very small, very deadly. They collect power like bees collect pollen.
They're a small metal creature that the Cybermen have, and they go around and basically work for the Cybermen and attack people, and basically they're just nasty little tin cans.
The Cybermen crashed in a spaceship on Earth under what would become many years later the town of Colchester.
This cybership had crashed hundreds, possibly thousands of years ago, been buried underneath the Earth, and then over the years there's kind of been progress, and a shop has been built on top of it, and the Cybermat has gone out, started to steal electricity and sort of bring it down to the ship.
That thing was eating up the electricity.
Transmitting it up to the cybership, but why? Now, why do they need power? Why are those conversions not complete yet? And what are they doing up there?
All the Cybermen but one died. One of them was dormant, so the Cybermat revived, gnawed some of the energy down.
Well, you have been busy.
Woke up the Cyberman, and using the parts from the other dead Cybermen they'd been crewing up.
Cybermen! Get off my planet, all right? Activate this! Yeah!
The Cybermats were originally in the series back in the 70s, the 60s and 70s.
What's that?
It's a cybermat.
They looked like a sea creature at the time, but so they're kind of a conical shape and segmented body. So we've stuck to that basic idea and just updated it a little bit.
The first time we see the Cybermats is in the Tomb of the Cybermen in 1967.
Cybermats will attack.
They're released by Cybermen to go up a chute from the bottom of the tomb to the sort of entrance of the tomb and have a go at the Doctor and the people who are up there.
Jamie, Victoria, Callum, wake up! Wake up!
It's not quite clear what they do in that story.
Don't move, Callum, don't move.
They next appear, the Cybermats, in The Wheel in Space, which I think is the next year. Yeah, that was just about when I was born. The story was going out. There, in that story, the Cybermen use them to gobble up some radioactive material. There is a marvellous scene of the Cybermats cornering an actor who has a terrible, terrible time of it as they buzz menacingly closer towards him. The ones in Revenge of the Cybermen are the ones I saw when I was a kid, and I just remember that they look heavy and they're nastier looking. But yes, they kind of launch themselves at you, and they very definitely inject you with a plague. That stuck in my mind. That was horrible, you know, the fact that they bite.
Bringing back any classic creature from Doctor Who is always fun, you know, going back to the original designs and seeing how you can still honour that design, you know, still kind of give a nod to it so that the fans who've seen the shows from the 70s they still recognise the character, but at the same time obviously bringing it up to date with modern materials and technology.
This is the first time we've seen the Cybermats for a long time, and we had a look at the original design, which kind of were great for the time, but we wanted to kind of update them, creating a kind of a newer, kind of sort of slightly scarier look. And what we kind of came up with was it's this kind of small, like a fish, like a woodlouse kind of creature.
Silver rat. Glowing red eye.
Yes. Then it zizzed off.
The new look of the Cybermats had to be something that could look fairly innocuous from a distance. You know, Val has seen it zizzing about the shop floor and not really paid it that much mind. It doesn't look too out of place.
I wanted to get one for my nephew, but stockrooms say there's no such item.
I bet they do.
When it's moving around the store, it's supposed to sort of look slightly innocuous, like you sort of could think it's a toy. And when they first pick it up, when they see it, they think, oh, this isn't actually particularly very scary.
Oh, is that it? Yeah. Oh, that's quite cute. Look at that.
But then its jaws snap open and there's kind of a bolt of electricity, and this thing is absolutely lethal. It's like a kind of a... Whereas the old one was more of a woodlouse, this is kind of like a piranha crossed with a Cyberman.
That's what I wanted to get across, definitely, that there was a horrible mouth in there, because obviously, like the Cybermen are made out of bits of things, and I imagine whatever that creature, whatever those jaws were, they belong to something really quite horrible.
That's all right, real man. That's all right, real man.
I know it is. Stop screaming. Stop screaming. Shh.
I love the new Cybernats. I think it's I like the colour, the glowing inside it, and I think the teeth are just terrific. You know, I think it's it certainly adds the weight that was needed.
I think the look of them's fun. They you know, in the episode they seem alive. That's the main thing.
197, take 1A marker. B mark.
We are using a combination of practical Cybermats, and also there'll be some CG enhancement once we get further down the line. So it was quite interesting getting the combination of those to work and choosing when to use them.
For the most part, it's a physical thing. There's only a couple of effect shots in there. I think it was important to have James particularly fighting with a proper Cybermat head, and Matt fighting with a Cybermat head, because if they're just doing this, as great as the effects are, sometimes I think you can tell when it's not actually in their hands.
We had a soft version that you could whack about for the attack with the Cybermat and Craig and the Doctor.
This one is just, he's a soft, squishy one in silicon, so he's just for smacking and throwing about the set and things.
We also had a wired-up version that actually had the movable mouth, so we used that for the attack when it was kind of close up and trying to eat them.
He's your close-up hero, Cybermat, and you see him straight on. He just has control very similar to your standard bicycle brake, and that makes him chomp his teeth. And then his tail is operated by just rocking the cables back and forth. The advantage of having that is that even when somebody's gripping him, he's still got enough power to fight in their hands. We got some lovely stuff with him really thrashing around.
Baking tray, Craig, baking tray!
Then we had a remote-controlled version that would move along, which we used in the department store and also in the house for the attack.
Now this little guy, he's just like a little radio-controlled car. He operates off the transmitter there. And inside, he is just a little radio-controlled car.
In the whole melee of the Cybermat attack, Craig screams out to the Doctor to help, and the Doctor's sonic isn't working. It's not working on the Cybermat, so he snatches up a pan and is supposed to pound the Cybermat. Because of the shot that we had the one with the full kind of head on it, and what happened was Matt just really belted this thing.
Sorry, I just really whacked it hard.
The head just kind of fell off, and this poor little sad creature you know, we had to get the effects guy to come in and sort of bring it back to life.
The gaffer tape, the essential tool of any film set, running down the bottom there, is holding him together after his scene of being clobbered with a frying pan.
Where's Alfie? Where's Alfie?
He's safe, he's safe.
Get Alfie!
I just have to find the right frequency, shut it down.
Hit it! Baking tray, Craig! Baking tray!
Hold it down.
Get on with it!
Oh, it must be shielded from electrostatic energy, of course.
Of course!
Don't worry, I have an app for that. Stand back. Stand back!
Well, I find it a bit funny because the guys, James and Matt, they've managed to dispatch this guy with the tea tray.
Safe mode. Clever me. Come along, Bitey.
And then when the Doctor sends him back against the Cybermen,
Don't worry, I've reprogrammed this Cybermat to drain their power.
they ended up just stepping on him like a bug.